Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff, me, Ryan McGuffey, here on a gorgeous day in the beautiful city of Chicago. It's all brought to you by our fine partners at Hooters, originalhooters.com, order.hooters.com. Have it delivered straight to your office, straight to your house. Or if you want, you could use that exact same website and pick it up. Maybe grab a Big Daddy mug. August specials coming out there and available for you at Hooters. Okay, I have some thoughts about a lot of things, as always, and I know you do because looking at the chat, it's absolutely packed, and we're going to get to it here in just a moment. But the Chicago Cubs, folks, are at the top of my mind yet again. We are just 6 days away from the Chicago Bears having their first preseason game. I look forward to a week from now sitting here discussing the Chicago Bears' first preseason result. I'm guessing Caleb is on the field for a short amount of time with a lot of the offense. We had a very packed and lively week last week here on the lunch hour and hope to keep that momentum going here throughout the week and going forward because the chat has been active and there's been a lot of new faces here and I love everything about it. So the question I have for you is, are you concerned about the Cubs' ability to win the NL Central? After this weekend, I am. After this weekend, I am. There's not a lot that looks great right now. I think the Cubs are a tough watch. Their offense is really, really brutal right now. What we've seen from Suzuki and Tucker and Michael Busch, I think they have combined, Cap had the stat yesterday in the recap if you haven't checked it out. I think they have a combined 11 RBI since the All-Star break. And then you look at Colson Montgomery, who has twice as much by himself with the White Sox. What a story Colson Montgomery is with the White Sox. 7 home runs already. The White Sox should have had a sweep last night. They did not. It was a brutal loss. And I want to know about I put this on Twitter last night. Justin Turner did have the big walk-off. That was fun to see. A lot of the Turner haters. But the bullpen was brutal this weekend. The offense was brutal. 1-0, 4-3, 5-3. I mean, you get the 2-run shot from Justin Turner. They got to be better. The Orioles are not a good baseball team. You got the Reds coming into Wrigley tonight. The Reds are above 500. They're fighting for a spot. Folks, let's get to the chat. Hopefully the Cubs can win a championship, says Jordo. Saturday morning, I hit my first home run over the wall, softball games. That'll way, Jordo. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Let's get him. Let's get Jordo on the Cubs. Jordo's hitting bombs. The real Phil Simms. They should have swept the Orioles, even though they won 2 out of 3. They lost a game in the standings. They definitely need to go 5-1 this week because the Brewers are on fire. And that's a great point you bring up. The Brewers have taken momentum and run with. I mean, their offense is on fire. Yes, it's not just Andrew Vaughn. Yelich had a big bomb the other day. They did what they were supposed to do against a team in the Washington Nationals who are done. Absolutely done. You look at the scores of the Milwaukee Brewers games over the weekend. 14-3 yesterday. 8-2 Saturday. And then you go over to Friday, 16-9. They scored 38 runs in the 3-game sweep of the Washington Nationals. Guff, you don't blow a 5-run lead to the Angels, like Cap said. Yeah, it's a very bad loss, but the White Sox don't have guys in the back of their bullpen. Quite frankly, neither do the Cubs, and that's what has me concerned. Palencia hadn't given up a run in almost a month, or over a month. He's going to have days like that, but in the playoffs, when you're trying to shorten the game and teams out there address their needs, and the Cubs didn't, they got some mid guys. What do you think Jed was really trying to say on Thursday in regards to saying that people were asking a little too much in regards to trade proposals that didn't stop San Diego? San Diego's not afraid. I heard the Mackenzie Gore trade package was Matt Shaw, Jackson Wiggins, and Owen Casey. I would turn that down too. I would turn that down too. But it doesn't mean I wouldn't stop. I mean, why the Cubs don't have Adrian Hauser right now? Something. Give your team some kind of relief, literally and figuratively. Yeah, the Cubs it might not mean as much. Now, the Cubs did take 2 out of 3, which is all you can ask. But I'm a little concerned about how they took 2 out of 3 and their ability to win the division going forward that way. That's what has me concerned. When I look and see what other teams done last week, you can't tell me the Jet is at the top of management in baseball. Not a good look. What signs? I see holes in their bullpen. Their lineup hasn't been good for a month. And their starting rotation, while they are getting Jamison Tyone back, who absolutely obliterated in a rehab start in Iowa, sometimes you can't read into the stats as much. Do a rehab start, you got to look at the up and down and did he get his pitches in. But Tyone, come on, not a top of the rotation arm. If all they do is care about just making the playoffs and the talk of the next great Cubs team is all BS, you have a real good team, and to not give them resources is wrong on all levels. I agree. I think, while I don't think it's malpractice, I think what I've learned is that the Cubs are happy just about getting in. That's not going to work. You're in Chicago, you're the Cubs. I don't think right now they're capable of winning the World Series. I'm not afraid to publicly put that out there. I don't think they are. I think they needed some reinforcement. Willie Castro is a nice player. He shouldn't be the marquee name that you actually acquired. And to Becky, your point, I agree. That's fair too, if you don't trust what Jed Hoyer says. I think it's at all levels, management on down or ownership on down. But if you say you're all in and then you spit out what you spit out at the trade deadline, I think fans have a right to bark back. Don't think that people around the league and pending free agents aren't paying attention to see what's happening in Chicago. This was way worse than the Bulls in 2010, straight hot garbage. Phil, players still want to play here. The Cubs have some of the best facilities in all of baseball. Look at those player surveys. The Cubs, they take care of families. It's Wrigley Field. Very few ballparks in the big leagues can say they pack the house every single night. Very few. So the Cubs are one of them. Trust me, players want to play here. I think that's fair, Becky. I think he wants to win another championship. I'm not going to say he doesn't want to. It's how they approach it. What's up, Eric? Cubs should have swept the Orioles. 2 out of 3 is good. Need to keep winning games until Milwaukee series later this month. Take one game at a time. Here's what's going to happen, though. Here's what I'm worried about. Is that everybody in Chicago, all the Cub fans are going to be geared up to that 5-game series, and Milwaukee's just going to keep doing what they do. They're looking at today. They're looking at today. They got the Braves. The Braves are done. That's the thing about the Brewers. Yeah, their schedule's harder, but now when you look at it, knowing it's post-trade deadline, here's what the Brewers have. 3 at the Braves, they're up the track. Then they come home, they get the Mets, good series. Then the Pirates. Then they're at the Reds. Then they come here, the 5 against the Cubs. Home against the Giants. 4 at home against the D-backs, who are no longer good. Then they get the Toronto Blue Jays at the end of the month. And then their September is kind of interesting. They get the Phillies, the Rangers. But then they have the Cardinals, the Angels, the Cardinals, then Padres, Reds. Brewers aren't going anywhere. AJ Preller, Justin Hollander, Dana Brown definitely put Jed to shame. They truly want to win. Everything's going all right, Jordan. Cubs keep having dumb losses while other teams are winning games they're supposed to. Doesn't bode well for a playoff run. Swayze, you're on top of it. If we don't make the playoffs, this will be all on Hoyer and Ricketts. If they don't make the playoffs, I don't know whose head's going to roll. Jed just got an extension, and you have a $40 million manager. If they don't make the playoffs, something's got to change. I think they're going to make the playoffs, folks. Just to be fair and see where they're at, I think they have like a 98% chance to make the playoffs. I think that's what it is. So I'm going to give it to you right now. I mean, they would have to have a pretty catastrophic collapse. They have the second best record in the National League. I mean, they have a 98.9% chance to make the playoffs. To win the World Series, 12.7. Second best, only to the Brewers, who are nearing 17%. To quote MJ95, I'm back. Kyle, good to see you. I saw your email to us as well on a personal note, and I really appreciate that, Kyle. So thank you very much. Glad to see the Recap brothers and sisters ready to give you updates again on the Fire, Blackhawks, Sky, and Hounds Recap fam. I love it. Swayze. Counsel saying there's a large gap between the Cubs and the Brewers is infuriating. If they felt that way, why the hell wasn't more done to close the gap? I don't know. And the Brewers don't have the books or the money or the financials that the Cubs do. And they didn't do anything crazy at the deadline. They had a Danny Jansen. You count Andrew Vaughn. They didn't do anything nuts. And we expected them to. And then the Cubs sat on their hands too. We missed you too, Kyle. That's fair if you don't trust anybody. Now here we go. PCA struggling. And so now we're saying, oh, he's got to move down. This is what I was fearing. I expected some Pete Crow-Armstrong regression. The problem is the whole lineup is slumping together. PCA is a 6.2 WAR player this year. He leads the National League in doubles and WAR. Pretty impressive. He's got 62 extra base hits. The dude's been a dude. I don't think he needs to move down. He's been one of your most consistent guys. Can't forget Lip Ripper and Breck Bear either. Of course not. Safety first after Saturday's loss. Thank you, Lift Driver. Jay, you're a new addition to the show, and you make me laugh, dude. I love it. Fire are back in action this week and currently hold the final playoff spot. Need more points to move up. Let's go Fire. How about the Chicago Fire maybe being Chicago's only playoff team? If I'm Counsel, it's a lefty pitcher. I would put Nico and Castro 1 and 2, Bush 3, Suzuki 4, PCA 5, and whoever afterwards. You know what's funny to me is that you know Tucker. I mean, that's crazy. I don't think they really want to win this year, and it's a total waste. I think Hoyer's too much in love with prospects and wants to see them in Chicago so he can glorify his ego. I mean, this has gone downhill quick. They need to do something with Brazier if he wants to stay on the team. He needs to throw strikes. Amen. I actually did not expect Brazier to still be on this team after the trade deadline, and then the Cubs went out, and they did very little. Palencia needs it. If we're asking the young guy to teach the old guys, that's not good. Why the hell did they extend it before the deadline? They like the continuity, but it's very, very infuriating. Sky lose another game, but Camilla's been playing great. Need to get Angel back on the floor soon. Yeah. Swayze is a great people. Look, there's a lot of hate out there. I understand it. I understand it. Looks like Frondell will be playing over in Sweden this season, then come to Chicago for 26-27. Go Hawks. Becky, yeah, the Yanks are sliding. They got injuries. Obviously, the big one, Aaron Judge. I mean, what's crazy about the Yankees, talk about heads going to roll. They may not make the playoffs. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a situation where the Yankees don't make the playoffs? It's going to be a fun race down to the end. If Tucker is still playing with that finger injury he had, put him on the IL for 5 to 10 days and bring up Casey. I think they're letting him go after it. They're trusting what he has been for a long, long time. And I get it. Kyle Tucker has earned that. I mean, he's almost a 5 WAR player, folks. But he's not been good. He's just, here's where Kyle Tucker, this is his numbers in the second half right now. 244. His on-base percentage is high. He has 14 walks and only 7 strikeouts. But he's not driving the baseball. 1 homer and 2 doubles. 779 OPS. Appreciate you, Kyle. Yeah, the Clark Street Sports is where to get it. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. We will have a Take That Green Bay. Let's see if they get in there and take care of business there as well. Is Oliver Moore going to start the season in the NHL? I love that Kyle is now getting questions. Kyle's getting questions. Swayze, Sox on the other hand look really good, hungrier and free. Cubs are playing tight and overthinking everything. Maybe the walk-off will loosen them up and get them going. That could be fun. Sometimes that's what you need. Sox are 10-5 since the break. I thought we were going to come on here and say they were 11-4. Bad loss yesterday. What do you think of Curtis Mead return for Hauser? I like it. How can you complain? Hauser made 12 starts, 12 in a White Sox uniform, and you flipped him for 3 players. It reminds me a lot of the Miguel Vargas trade last year. Mead, once a high prospect, just wasn't clicking when he got to the big leagues, and eventually another team says, you know what, we can't do this anymore. So now Mead, who is up here because Vargas is on the IL, is getting the opportunity to perform. We will have to see how it goes. I'm more curious about where he's going to play because he's been kind of all over the diamond. Usually a guy likes to have some type of stability. I'm trying to bring up the box score from yesterday, but we'll have to see from there. Mead, Sox are off today. I could see him being in the lineup. Baseball tossed. If you could give an extension to one rookie in the Sox, who would it be? Yes, I know it's early. This is a great question. First of all, I don't want that to happen after what the extensions happened to the other guys from the first rebuild. I mean, Colson Montgomery feels like a guy you'd want to invest in right now. Now, it could go south. I'll say Colson Montgomery will be that guy. That's what I'm going to say. Guess what, folks? New specials this month at Hooters. Hot summer meal deals are here. The weekdays just got better with some of your Hooters favorites for $9.99 or less. Boneless wings, OG wings, the blackened chicken Caesar salad, the original burger. I keep talking about it. Every Monday through Friday, 11 to 3, the tender tacos. You guys know how I feel about them. The snow crab legs are staying. They're staying this month at August. The drink of the month is the long-legged Long Island iced tea. Careful. Fully leaded at $8. The long-legged Long Island iced tea. Have your lit the Hooters A with the absolute raspberry Bacardi Superior Tanqueray and a dash of blue curacao. Watch out. Host your fantasy football draft party at Hooters for the ultimate draft day vibes. At Hooters, you always get the best pick with great food, cold drinks, and the iconic Hooters girls rather draft from home. Pick up the wings to fly. Order now at originalhooters.com. And guess what? Remember I told you the Sam Adams Oktoberfest is going to be here? It is. The summer ale's out. The Oktoberfest is in. The Big Daddy mugs. Originalhooters.com. Order.hooters.com to get it delivered straight to your door. Lots of stuff here. Let's see if I can get to the chat. Becky, Castro will be a free agent after this year. Do you think the Cubs will bring him back next year? He's been good. Too early to say. Who knows? I think it depends a lot on what happens this season. Hey, Guff, what's up? Jess went to Family Fest on Sunday. The defense looks stellar. Aaron Rodgers won't know what hit him. Offense, though, is making silly mistakes. Not happy that Caleb is still doing audibles. Good nugget. Jess is like our boots on the ground correspondent. I love it. Kyle, couldn't agree more. Swayze, Sox look hungry while the Cubs can't dominate teams. They should, like Milwaukee. Hope they can turn around before they meet later this month. Mark, welcome to the chat. Our Cubs don't look good. I know they win 2 out of 3. I don't like the way it feels. Pablo, hey, what's up, my man? Week 2 in Columbia. Left his recap shirt at home and bummed because I wanted to wear it for this boxing class I'm taking here. Remembering you guys every time I jab because I say take that. Pablo, you're 101, dude. You're 101. Alan, thank God for Justin Turner. That's something we haven't heard on this chat all season long. I saw a Brewers hat in the gym in Memphis. Boo. People are coming out of the woodwork, Mark. Coming out of the woodwork. Keep enjoying Pablo. Sounds like a great trip. Jess, training camp is the time to learn the plays given by the head coach and the OC. Also, a delay of game. Having over a week of practice, that shouldn't happen, especially with pumped-in music. Crowd wasn't that loud. Hey, these are the time now to make mistakes, Jess. These are the time. Please give me Chris Getz over Hoyer any day. Hoyer is led by bean counter Crane. Kenny Theory was his own man. Wow. How about that? A Getz over Hoyer situation. How about that? Can't hit with runners in scoring position. Hey, look at multiple people saying can't hit with runners in scoring position. LC Dog. I'll say this about the Cubs as much as I wanted them to trade for a starter. When you hear about how much they cost, I'm happy they didn't get one. There's a reason why hardly any starters moved. Interesting take. I mean, not even Adrian Hauser? Really? Bradley? Did you see the video Caleb Williams crashing out during throwing session of practice? I did not see that video, Bradley. By the way, I want the 30,000-foot view of Caleb Williams at House Hall or in training camp. The nitpicking, 4th and 15, he threw a floater, it got batted down, and Tyson Bagent looked good, led their team to a score. What's it look like? Last week, they said he had his best week of practice as a Bear. Let's see it on tape when he takes the field Sunday in the first preseason game. Nothing but knee-jerk reactions in these comments, says Servative God. Wow, coming at us. I think the eye test on the Cubs right now isn't good. Sorry. Kyle's welcoming the newcomers. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Kyle, last week, man, packed. Progressively independent. Cubs look complacent. No grind or hustle. The AAA players, easy to watch. I think I like the first sentence right there. They do. They look a little going through the motions. They look complacent to me. Mark, I don't know if this is the case. I know the Reds, every series is going to be tough. If you think the Reds are going to sweep, man, this is going to be a lively week here on the Recap Lunch Hour. I don't know if you caught this Saturday, but Boog mentioned on the broadcast that Kyle Tucker isn't healthy. If that's the case, put him on the damn IL and let him heal. Maybe that's what they're trying to let him work through it, and that could be what happens in the end. I thought I was going to see a double-digit sweep. I like Turner as a mentor. He's the Rossi of 16. I like Turner's. I like that signing from the start. I mean, look at this. Look at where we are. A guy who's almost a 5-WAR player, folks. 5-WAR. Get him out of here. I'm not that nuts. The same people crying about the Cubs not doing anything at the deadline are the same ones crying about the Cubs trading Cam Smith away. Weird fan base. Cam Smith can go fly. I have not mentioned Cam Smith here ever because I would have traded for Kyle Tucker 7 times over, and I'd still do it. Who's chiming in with we got a paid comment here. Let's jump down to it. Where's my guy? Wow, look at all these comments we're not going to get to today. The Child's coming in. The weak trade deadline is what made the series win against the Orioles feel lackluster. You're probably right, Child. That's a really good comment. Appreciate you chiming in. Welcome to the chat, and thanks for the donation. I agree, because here's why. The weak trade deadline was exposed in the Cubs series this week. They get Justin Turner off the bench. Their bench is weak. The offense needs something, needs some kind of pop. And your bullpen is just not dependable enough. And that's why I agree with you, Child. That's why I agree. OPS, says Thomas, is such a watered-down stat that look at Hap, a 711 OPS and does nothing with the bat. OPS is not a watered-down stat. Like 711, by the way, is not a good OPS. It's not. His OPS plus is 106. League average is 100. I mean, he has 15 home runs. He has 53 RBI. Like, there's production in there. There is production in there. 19 days. He's got 34 of his 90 hits or extra bases. He's not been a good overall player this year. I don't think it's a watered-down stat, because if it was, he'd have like an 811. Then I'd say, okay. Anthony, Cubs winning the division is a dream. Ricketts doesn't care about the division. Brewers own the division. Jed's receiving an extension is a joke of baseball. Well, Swanson Dansby Swanson's not been good. Coert, ready to watch U of I over the Bears. Illinois should be a really, really good football team this year. A lot of people are predicting them to be the Indiana of last year and get to the college football playoff. There's Carter Hawkins, if you were looking for him. Can anyone in the minors come up and help the Cubs staff? I'm picturing Jackson Wiggins pumping 99 out of the pen. I think everything should be on the table. I think every single thing like that should be on the table, because you didn't go out and do anything. So now get creative with the guys you do have. Lake Trout, since Hoyer only likes to get retirement age relievers, do you think Randy Johnson could still give us some quality innings, maybe get Nolan Ryan back? He could still throw 85, probably. Hey, this is awesome. Starting now, today, we have a new partner. It's the Renegade Fantasy League. I got to read this to you because Cap and I have started our own league. That you got to download the Renegade Fantasy Football app, okay? Renegade Fantasy, you can find it in the App Store. Download it, set up an account. We are a public league, the Recap. Aren't you tired of your top players getting injured and not performing well? Like, yeah, all the time. Your season's not over here. Lucky for you, the Recap League teamed up with Renegade Fantasy, the only fantasy football app where you can sub in a player real time. Your quarterback gets injured in the first quarter, boom, make the substitution. You can do that at Renegade Fantasy. It means no more stress, no more points, loss to injuries, or even poor performance. With the Renegade Fantasy app, you can step down from the luxury box, become a real-time coach. Join the Recap League on the Renegade Fantasy app today. Make sure you find the Renegade Fantasy app. Look at the prize. You can actually win real cash here on the Recap. And by the way, I'm going to be talking crap all month to Cap. I'm going to dust his ass in fantasy. So if you want to dust Cap like I am, join this, because we're going to have a lot of this going on. Make sure you download the Renegade Fantasy Football app. Go to Public League and find the Recap and join now. Join now for your chance to win a $10,000 prize. Folks, that is real stuff. And plus, you get to go head-to-head with me and Cap. It'll be a blast all season here on the Recap. Look at all these comments. Yes. Does this mean March Madness brackets next year? Jess, I'm telling you, we're getting out there. We're getting out there. Fantasy football with us. We'll be hosting a fantasy football draft party for somebody lucky winner, some lucky league at Hooters later this month. I love how Will Venables changed his White Sox team. Looks like things are headed in the right direction, says Balin. Welcome to the chat. I bet Cap still uses AOL. That's hilarious. Jay, Cap is in front of a lot. He likes to get what all the cool kids have. But I'm telling you right now, come and dust Cap with me in the Renegade Fantasy Football League. Come and dust him with me. And he's going to come in here. Oh, my God. Trust me, we're going to dust him. Let's go with that. Wayne, I know I'm outnumbered by Cub fans on here, probably 10-1, but I like the direction of your White Sox. I'm pretty surprised. Yeah, me too, but it's been a lot of fun of late, for sure. Progressively wants Owen Casey up. John Birdie back. Since Casey wasn't traded, how do the Cubs implement him and Alcantara into the roster either this year or next year? I'd bring Owen Casey up. This team needs some kind of something. They need some kind of something. Matt throwing a start bench cut out there. Mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, corn on the cob. Matt, the original OG who started the start bench cup way back in October. Coming up on the year anniversary of this show, by the way. I'm going to start Mac. I'm going to bench corn on the cob and cut mashed potatoes. That's insane. An Irish guy cutting potatoes. But there's a lot of great ways to get at potatoes. A lot of great ways. Do I think the Colorado Rockies are going to break the losing record? No, they have 30 wins. I think they're going to end up with like 44 wins, something like that. I think they're just going to make it. R.S. Palencia did great. Yes, he gave up a run on hits, no walks. If Kelly was a faster runner, they should have never sent Carson Kelly. What the hell was that, by the way? Did you skip through a bunch of comments today? I can't get to all the comments. Like Clyde, I always ignore him. I did have to move around. This shows we could go all day here with this fine crew. If they lose, blacked out. If they win, I watch the game and get the recap with the great Guff. I appreciate you. Dan Kelly, Cubs' lack of a bench combined with lots of day games have worn some guys down. We're still doing the day game thing. Carter, we have 5 top 100 prospects at AAA all blocked in the bigs. Those guys either have to be playing, traded, or you risk them dying on the vine like Brennan Davis. And Dan, Cubs are still on pace to win 95 games. If Milwaukee wins 100, so be it. If you're in the NLCS, no one will care. That's a very fair statement, Dan. Oh, Lonnie Anderson passed away. Did not know that. Oh, did not know that. Well, rest in peace to Lonnie Anderson. Lonnie Anderson. Clyde, we're still here, dude. 3 games out tonight. Tyreek Stevenson chiming in the chat. I love it. Serious question, Guff. Do you think Tucker's lack of power is related to injury or playing in a park outside of Houston? I think, it feels more injury related to me. Let's get to the bet of the day. So much. By the way, that Renegade football app, guys, do it because join our public league. It's going to be a blast. And we are going to go toe to toe with Cap. I gave you 2 picks on Friday. The 2 teams I really liked in the I thought the Astros and Padres, I really liked their matchup. Went 1-1. Astros lost in 10 innings. We went 1-1. We finished last week 3-4. Starting to string some together. I know a lot of you might hate this. Brewers open a series in Atlanta tonight. What's not to love about the Milwaukee Brewers right now? 38 runs in 3 games over the weekend. I'm taking that. The Braves had that crazy game in Bristol. The game got rained out. They had to still play it yesterday. They were supposed to have the off day. A lot of pomp and circumstance. It looked cool on TV. Bummer for them that it got rained out on Saturday. I'm going Brewers money line. I'm laying the juice. The Brewers money line, they are red hot, and I'm going to back it for sure. I don't have any picks in the Little League World Series. That's kind of where I draw the line. White Sox, Louis, what's not to love? I think it's fantastic. Colson Montgomery with 23 RBIs in 25 games as a White Sox. Gotta love that. You got to love that. Do you think they should start Casher at third and bench Shaw? No, I think you got to work them both in right now. Shaw's been good since the All-Star break. He's one of the very few. Crazy, says Brian, how Colson pretty much leads the team in power numbers and has only been up a month. I know. Could you imagine a scenario where he leads the team in home runs? How do I think Soroka will do tonight? Wild card. I mean, he's been pitching. He's been a starter for the Nationals. He was a long reliever last year for the White Sox. He's okay. Nice guy. I would have tried to get somebody different. Alan, I know. I'm sorry that my bet of the day is the Milwaukee Brewers, but I'm going to ride the hot hand. Mike, with 2 lefties on the mound for the Reds and Wednesday, do you think Castro gets starts in the outfield to give Happ, PCA, and Tucker a couple of breaks? I think right now you need PCA in the lineup. It's an interesting philosophy. Happ maybe takes a day off. Not a bad idea. The bet is a don't think, just throw bet. It is. Nothing to analyze much more than that. Nothing to analyze. And Kyle, man, I miss this fun. Hope you all have a great day. Take that. I appreciate you all greatly as we look at the Cubs down the stretch and got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. Got to get to our great sponsors at Apt as well. The Apt play of the day or player of the game. If you use the promo code REKAP25, will save you $25 off any purchase $150 or more. It's your number one destination for the home at Bosch. Thoughtful design. I have Bosch. Isn't just a feature. It's built into every appliance. From whisper quiet dishwashers to sleek induction cooktops that wipe clean in seconds. Every element is crafted with purpose. It's the kind of quality you can see, feel, and barely hear. Built to last, made for how you live. For free in-home delivery, professional installation, complete satisfaction. You guys know where to go. Shop at Apt. ABT, pleasing people since 1936. They are a proud partner of the Recap here. Woo! Lot going on. Got a lot going on here. Have an awesome rest of your day as well. Dan, how long are the Sox at playoff? I still think 2027. And Becky answered your question, Alan. St. Louis, then Toronto. What are my predictions about the Sox going to Seattle? Seattle's a tough team fighting. I'm going to say they win one of the 3. I'm going to try to be realistic. Thank you for watching this edition of the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff. Me, Ryan McGuffey. It's all brought to you by our fine folks at Hooters. OriginalHooters.com. The new drink, that Long Island iced tea. Careful, folks. Go to the J. True does. Get the Lyft to take you if you're having the $8 long-legged iced tea at Hooters this month. OriginalHooters.com. Order.Hooters.com to have it delivered straight to your door. We'll be back tomorrow with another great edition. Cubs need a big win. God, let's make sure that offense breaks out. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Take